Andrew McCART, IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm here in Newcastle in the lovely, lovely office of Gary Forrest. I've got to thank you for inviting me down. It's a very nice office you've got here. So, what do you do for a living?
The Ice Rig Group's probably is one of the largest PRS developers in the UK. We're building the tallest tower in Newcastle, the housing tower, be the tallest building in Newcastle.
I was just about to say that. I think I read that online when you sent me the address over last night. I had a wee look and obviously your name came up and it was the largest building in Newcastle, tallest building in Newcastle.
We're up to the 22nd floor at the moment, goes up to 27. I mean, it's probably small in comparison to most cities, but for Newcastle it's the biggest. We're building an awful lot more housing developments. Tower blocks in Newcastle, we've got a lot going on in Birmingham, quite a lot going on in Manchester. Warrington and a lot of the up and coming city centres. Head office is here in Newcastle. We're proud of our northeast roots. We're a busy set of people running around building things.
You're not just building things, you're trying to build a stable of fighters as well within the northeast. That's why I'm here, because all I do is talk boxing. So if you don't mind, let's talk some boxing. You're obviously a part of MTK Newcastle. For people that don't know, can you just let the viewers know that what you do within MTK Newcastle? What's your sort of role?
I head up the whole of MTK Newcastle. So we have the gym up in Felling. We have a trainer there, Gary Barr. I look to put on the promotions on behalf of MTK in the northeast of England. We have our second one coming up. We're going to do we'll do 3 or 4 this year, and then obviously, looking to bring in the new talent in the area, develop the fighters in the area, and give the fighters opportunity to progress and fulfil their potential in the area, using MTK and their network and everything they're doing as a business, and everything they're providing fighters these days, is using that to hopefully develop some champions out the area.
Well, you've got I've looked at the card. It's a very, very strong card with Troy Williamson as well. Tyrone McCullough, the Irish fighter defending his title. I think he's headlining, is he?
He is,
Tyrone.
yeah.
So from the top of the bottom of the bill, what can fans expect?
First and foremost, they can expect a great show, because what we've lacked in the northeast, in my opinion, is high quality, good production shows, good venues. When you get in to see the venue is absolutely perfect. It's a brand new basketball arena.
I'm covering the show, so I'm going to be there. So I'm
brand new basketball arena, but it's only been open a matter of two months.
Nice.
It's perfect size for a boxing arena as well. Hopefully we can develop a little partnership there with the Newcastle Eagles. To hold about 2,000, we're most of the way through selling that out at the present.
Wow.
So what we want to try and deliver first and foremost is real high quality production, making an experience, somewhere that your girlfriend wants to go, your wife wants to go, and you can have a proper night out off the back of it. That's the first thing. I think that's been lacking in the northeast. The only time that happens is when Matchroom come into the region, and they come out once a year maybe. So I don't think we actually deliver that in the area, and it would be nice to do that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that you're going to hope, apart from really Josh Kelly and Lewis Ritson, you're going to see all the best boxing talent in the northeast in one arena on one night, and that should certainly be a great occasion for everybody.
Well, you mentioned Lewis Ritson and Josh Kelly. I had the pleasure of watching Josh Kelly on Saturday night at the O2, but them two aside, it looks like Lewis Ritson's been taken out of Newcastle just to try and get his way back to championship level, maybe the lightweight British title or whatnot. Josh Kelly's doing his thing up and down. So when you look at the stable of fighters in the northeast, doesn't have to be one in particular, but who do you feel, if you can give a couple of names, if just one, is going to be the next man coming through, so to speak?
To be fair, we've got a few. We would genuinely
just name them all.
We have got a few. We've got a few coming through, and I think that Troy Williamson has a real chance. I've seen him fight twice now. I saw him fight in Manchester. He was the last fight when he fought a guy called Jack Flatley. and it was they're virtually taking the arena, the ring down around the two fellas. And these two guys put on the best fight I've seen in a long time. And I thought he nicked the fight. To be fair, I'm pretty confident he'd win any rematch with Flatley. But I think that he, if we can get him matched, people are avoiding him at the present moment in time. But I think he's got a real opportunity to progress in the Northeast. There's a young lad coming through called Joe Laws.
Joe Laws, I've interviewed him a number of times. Yeah. He's a great character.
He's a great character, and that's what we need in the Northeast. We need some characters that people get behind.
Yeah.
And it's he's that character, and hopefully he sells. He's got an awful lot of big fan base already, and that's just if he keeps going in the right direction, that's only going to get bigger. And then you've got a lot of other fighters in around them that are still just making their way through. Manage them carefully, don't rush them. Do personally feel Lewis Ritson was rushed, and don't rush them. Let them take the time to develop, and then without having pressure on them to sell out arenas and sell out shows too soon in their careers, in my opinion. And I think that we've got a young kid, Jay Hughes. He's ready for a Northern Area title fight. He's only 21 year old. Got a lot of good young talent coming through.
You mentioned Lewis Ritson there, but it's kind of hard for somebody that's obviously was knocking everybody out in the first round at British level. So it's like, you probably know it yourself, being in that position. I don't know, because I'm on the other side of the camera. But it's hard to sort of like, what do you do with a fighter who's knocking everyone out at British level? Do you chuck him straight into European level? It's that sort of grey area, isn't it, of how do you match them, so to speak. So you said that Lewis Ritson was rushed, but on the other coin, do you think he can come back and win the British title?
Absolutely, he'll come back. And people are writing him off are just foolish. The guy's got some serious talent. By rush, what I mean is,
I know
30,000 seater stadium. Yeah. Neck end is sold out. Every Geordie in town rocked up to see Lewis win to see Lewis Ritson win the European title. And I just thought for me it was a little bit too much pressure. Yeah. Whether he was ready for that, it was too much pressure too soon.
Yeah, we've seen that with Ricky Barnes, I believe, as well, when he lost the title.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that had they stuck him on the undercard of a fight down in London, where there might be 2,000 Geordies rocking up to support him, he might have come through that fight a little bit more relaxed and less pressure. I don't know the lad well enough how well does he deal with pressure, but I just felt watching the fight, I just thought there's a lot of pressure on this kid here.
What about Josh Kelly then? He's another rising star in the North East. There seems to be some very top talented fighters, but they're just not getting that profile out there with the major platforms. But Josh Kelly is one of them. He's from Sunderland. I don't know if you're a pure Geordie or not, but I know there's
Northeast.
I know there's a little rivalry between the Geordies and the Mackhams. But how do you see his development? He was getting a lot of criticism from his style on Saturday night. What's your thoughts on that?
Listen, I didn't see the fight on Saturday, so I can't really comment on it. Personally, I think he's a great talent. Again, I think that he's got like Lewis, he's got the opportunity to go and become a world star. I really do genuinely believe that, and I think that if that's his style, that's his style. Nobody was complaining about Nassim Hamed when he was fighting like that. And we need some characters in the Northeast boxing. When was the last time we had a real character in the Northeast boxing that people love that? And they're entertaining, they're exciting. They might take a few risks every now and then, but it gets people behind them, crack on, as long as, if he steps up, he's going to have to be a little bit more, he can't walk around with his hands down, but overall, it's great entertainment, and go for it.
Here's a question for you then, I'm from Scotland, so I know the divide between Rangers and Celtic sort of thing, so there is that Mackham and Geordie thing. Do you think that if Lewis Ritson and Josh Kelly continue doing the different weight classes, but if they continue I know they fought on the bill before, but do you think they can sort of like co-headline in the North East and sort of unite the North East behind not just Newcastle, Sunderland, Middlesbrough and wherever, unite the whole of the North East to get behind every single box from all the cities in the North East? Do you think that they're probably the main two catalysts for that?
Absolutely. And there's no reason why that can't be delivered. And what do you find about the North? A bit like Scotland, a bit like Glasgow. Newcastle and Glasgow are two very similar cities, by the way, by the
big river running
through it, and the way the city's designed, virtually identical city centres. The reality is, sporting stars unite regions and bring regions together, and the Northeast, like Scotland, when they get something, they go for it, they support them, they give them 100%, they're 100% behind them, and they build great atmospheres. If you put a real top talent from Glasgow, with both Celtic and Rangers fans going to support that talent, yes they would. Was Tony Bellew just supported by Everton fans? No, he wasn't. No. Right, and I'm fairly sure neither Lewis Ritson or Josh Kelly would only be supported by the one set of fans. Both of them, and ideally if we get them both on the same show, which would be an amazing event, and if there was a world title at stake for one of them, that would be great. But there's nothing to stop that happening, and that's what we need to do. If we're going to take advantage of so much talent coming out the Northeast at the present moment in time, we've got to give the lads these opportunities. And we've got to support boxing in the area, and that's hopefully what we're going to try and deliver.
Well, we spoke about everyone else in the Northeast. We spoke a little bit about you, but I want to know, how did you get into the boxing game? Like, was it just a passionate fan that decided to, or have you always been involved in it as a kid, or how did you get involved?
As a kid, always loved boxing. Brought up being a big Muhammad Ali fan. Came through my dad was a big boxer. My dad's hero was John Conte. My dad was from Liverpool. John Conte was my dad's hero.
All right.
Brought up, I just had this draw to boxing. I don't know why, but I just did. Always stopped to watch the boxing fights, and then I kind of developed from there. More a real passionate fan. I've travelled all over the world watching boxing over the years, and then it just evolved slowly. Opened a gym. Did a lot of training myself. Football always previously overtook boxing, to be fair. But I'll be honest with you, if there was a big, I'm an Everton fan from my sins because my dad's from Liverpool. But if there was a big Everton game or a big boxing world title fight, I'd go to the boxing world title fight. It's also a sport now, and credit to the likes of Matchroom and Frank Warren Promotions and the likes, where they've now made some of these events, and hopefully MTK can do that on a more regular basis as well, where the women enjoy the sport as well, and it's a production, it's a night out, and I'm busy with work all the time, and it's something I can share with my wife. My daughter loves boxing, her future husband's a professional boxer, so we can share that together.
Nice.
And I just love boxing. But the most important thing for me is we're quite a large company now. We're doing a lot of developments in the area, and it's giving something back into the region. And if we can create one or two champions, and then one or two champions galvanise the Northeast and give the Northeast something to smile about and something to get behind, it just gives there's a real buzz. We used to have it when Newcastle and were flying high in the Premiership.
I remember.
Huge buzz about the city, and we're struggling with that at the moment. But the opportunities for boxing to step into them shoes for a little bit, and if we can deliver that, the region just loves its heroes, and we support them.
You certainly do. Well, Alan Shearer being one of them. We're talking about the football. You mentioned MTK there. With MTK's backing, and obviously a passionate person like yourself in this sport, do you think it's possible for that, what you just said, to materialise, so to speak, within the next year or 2 years?
It doesn't matter when it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be in the next year. It doesn't have to be in the next 2 years. I wouldn't want to put myself or MTK under pressure for people to look back on this interview. You said in 2 years' time you deliver this. It doesn't matter. My objective is to deliver high production shows. We did the dinner show just before Christmas. A little test to see, whether this would work. It was the old-fashioned black tie, lounge
old
suits.
School. I like
old
it.
school.
Yeah, I like it.
There was a 3-course meal. There was a live band on. There was 4 professional fights, and we invited a lot of the business people from the region. Said, come and have a look at this. And we sold out all the tables. The great thing was the boxers didn't have to sell any tickets. They could go and fight. They could earn a purse, and it was a great occasion. Virtually, I would say 50% of the people who were at that event had never been to a boxing show before, if not higher. Never been to a boxing show before. And the amount of comments that we got, what a great occasion when you're doing the next one. So there's the first little test. Can we do something that isn't being done in the area? Can we make it work? Yes, we can. We've done that. We're going to do another summer ball. We're going to do another Christmas show. So we'll do 2 of them a year.
Well, am I invited?
You certainly will.
There we go. Then.
Yeah, you'll be do 2 of them a year. Then we're going to put on at least 2 shows, hopefully at the new Eagles Arena, because it's the right location, it's the right venue, and it's an opportunity to put a good production. 2,000 people coming in, supporting the local boxers. My objective is to put the good shows on, to give the fighters the opportunity to showcase their ability on good quality shows, and ultimately for the fighters that are tied to MTK, that are connected, for me, all I want them to do is give the best opportunity to fulfill their ambitions, right, and their ability, whatever their ability might be. It might be that they're only a Northern Area champion, it might be they're an English champion, it might be they're a British champion, you know what, might be a world champion amongst them, right? That would be the dream. But my objective is to give them fighters the best possible opportunity to achieve that. And the problem you've got in many instances, particularly in the Northeast, is, you know, a lot of them rely on having to sell tickets all the time, you know, and it's not the easiest. They're training, they're trying to sell tickets, they're trying to do this.
They're dropping off tickets and money.
Dropping tickets off, trying to get sponsorship in. It's not an easy sport to be successful in. And if we can remove as much of that as possible, without obviously saying the fighters don't have to do anything if you just train, but if we can remove as much of that as possible and give them good platforms, give them good shows to fight on, where they can earn a decent amount of money, and we can showcase them properly, and we can get them to where they need to be properly. We don't lose fighters because they can't sell tickets anymore. Then, you know, and whatever their standard, if they achieve what they fulfill that potential, I'll be a happy man. You know, and hopefully one day one of them will be a world champion.
Well, I'm pretty sure. You never know. Boxing's a crazy game. We've seen the likes of Dave Allen, who was boxed in the Northeast before, just on undercards and little small hall shows, and he headlined O2. So boxing's a crazy game. Anything can happen. But looking around, you seem like a very, very grounded man. You don't look ahead. You're very, you know what you want, sort of things. That's the vibe I'm getting. But I want to throw this at you. Okay, and I just want to know the answer. A world title fight at St James's Park, what would that do for this city? Could it happen? Will it happen?
Hey, it could very realistically happen. A world title fight at St James's Park would be an amazing occasion, and that is the sort of thing that the Northeast would get behind. Newcastle fans, Sunderland fans, doesn't matter where he's from. If he's from the Northeast, he's for a world title fight, and you know they will get behind that person, whoever that might be. And I tell you what, that would be an amazing event. To be fair, and you know, Tony Bellew sold out Goodison Park. You know, and you know there are the talent there in the Northeast for somebody soon, you know, in the next few years, to be able to reach that sort of heights. And if he's part of our stable, and if he's part of MTK, absolutely fantastic.
You believe the Northeast is like a sleeping giant then, so to speak? Yeah,
absolutely. And the challenge is, it is a huge sleeping giant. And when was the last time we had a real champion? You know, real champions that everybody knows the name of. You know, and it is a sleeping giant. And you look around something, you'll see for yourself. You probably know most of the lads anyway, but the people will see for themselves a week on Friday the talent. You know, I see them every other day in the gym. They're talented fighters, they're talented kids, and you know, you got the opportunities there. We just need to put more shows on for them. We've got to get them fighting more regular. We've got to